Welcome back to the timeless message. Let's see what you need to hear. We already have cards come out. Oh, we have the Devil and the Five of Cups in reverse. There is something that needs to be released in your life, and it's in relation to your emotions. It's in relation to some sort of a deep wound that you have, that you are somewhat struggling to sanitize, I'm hearing, to keep clean. So this idea that this might be popping back up, so something from the past that you find yourself still stuck to. Okay, what is this situation? What is the Devil, the Five of Cups about? What is this about? And don't worry about it being the Devil. The Devil is but the humanness, in a way, of men. Like the idea that we find comfort in things that sometimes are not good for us, and we stay there because it's what we know, you know. It also mentions the ego and like this idea of like being too ego driven, but yeah, an addiction, any sort of behavior where you find yourself stuck, you find yourself repeating even though there is a negative attribute to it. Okay, the Page of Swords in reverse. The Page of Swords, interesting that this is coming out in a court card. I'm going to get another card because it does indicate that this might be in relationship to a person, or this could be your own personal development that you're going through. But the Page of Swords, he is striving towards having fair judgment and making clear decisions. This being here in reverse, there's an unfairness, and there's also maybe not a recognizing of like how early on someone is in their own path towards fair judgment and clear mind. Maybe they're not recognizing how foggy things are. Okay, so maybe things are foggy. So maybe this is something, maybe, okay, I'm sensing there might be some sort of a blockage, some sort of a fog covering this pain. And this is the Devil, this is the ego, the part of your brain that is trying to protect you, ultimately. Trying to protect you, but doing so by keeping you stuck rather than allowing you to experience something that might change you and your view on things. So are we meant to know more about this, or are we meant to leave it as such? What is going on? You might hear my little boy in the back. The Six of Cups in reverse. I think this is a matter that needs to be looked at, and we're going to look at this. This is an interesting reading. This is quite a dense energy in this fogginess. The Six of Cups is nostalgia card. It's the card that is telling you about your childhood. So this could be childhood wounds resurfacing as well. You see the two kids. But this is oftentimes a positive card. It is a card of, you know, remembering and being joyous about the experience that you had. This being in reverse, this could be something you're not very happy about. But I do sense it is stuff coming up from your past that is in some way being triggered potentially. Definitely, if not your childhood, this is something in the past of your life. Past of your life, and that sounds like past lives. So could it be a past life as well for some of you? We have another card explaining this. The Seven of Pentacles and upright. The Seven of Pentacles. This is the card of waiting for your harvest, it being about to arrive. You see how he's just about ready to go and hack all of this off so he can go and enjoy it, you know, enjoy the fruits of his labors. But he's not there yet. He's still working on it, still dealing with it. It feels really weird. It feels like you've been trying to work through whatever's happening, whatever emotions are coming up, but there is this intense block, and I'm seeing like the Devil is obviously here on the deck, but what I'm sensing is there's this protectiveness of like someone standing there and being like, no, you are not entering here, you're not going to look at this, you're not going to talk about this because I do not want to talk about this, I'm still working through this, okay? Like that kind of energy. Excuse you, Baba. No, honey bunch, if you want to dig you can, but just not while Mama is doing the cards, okay? You can go over there, hon. So Sorry about that. Little boy decided to dig a hole right next to my cards. That's okay. I got some dirt on them. Look at that. Okay, so maybe there is like something about dirt that needs to be mentioned. But it just feels like distraction, you see, like a distraction from what we're talking about. And I don't want to push this too hard, because if there's a need to go deeper, you can always reach out for a personal reading if you want to. But I just don't feel like that is what's going to be most fruitful for this reading today. I'm going to get 2 more cards for the sake of symmetry, because I like it, not because you have to, by the way. You don't have to do anything, okay? Just do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm going to pick 2 cards to get the symmetry, to kind of get a teeny bit more information, but then we're just going to go into guidance, because I think this is not something we're meant to be looking at that much. Okay, so we're going to get 2. That's what you're holding, eh? Okay. Okay, wait, 1 more. Did someone fall? No. Anyone? That's 2 more. Why do you do this? With it, like, there's like 3 come out. So now we've already don't have the symmetry again. Or in some way we do, but it does, what I'm sensing is like this evasiveness. This evasiveness of being able to look into this as we want to, right? Whatever's happened, it does seem like there's even more coming out, right? But it feels from a place of putting so much in front of you so you can't see. So again, this fogginess, this illusion that feels like is also something that is related to the devil, like the idea of there being a separateness that needs to be protected in a way. And I do want to say there is a separateness because we can perceive ourselves as a body. There's a separateness, and there's layers to this. So I'm not saying to disregard your own body and your own needs, not at all. But the over emphasis on such. So we've got the bugs coming out. It's getting dark, and I apparently smell really good for bugs. Probably doesn't help that my color choice is always quite prevalent. Anyway, but you see, there's this derailment. There's this derailment from looking at this. So I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to continue so we can end it, because I feel like this is not something we want to be looking into. Maybe the 2 of Wands. We have this energy of like choosing to expand, trying to expand, making plans for such, but it not being yet at the place where you're really manifesting this change or manifesting the expansion. The Knight of Wands in reverse. So a passion, an ill-directed passion is what I'm hearing. So someone who is very passionate, but maybe in a way that is destructive, that is not conductive to some sort of a growth. But I also feel like there might be a blockage to expansion, a blockage to stepping into your own power, into your own passion, following that, because the 2 of Wands is kind of looking at the devil. And maybe there's this internal fighting between a part of you that wants to expand and this part of you that is staying stuck with him. Yes, I think that's the case. Yep. That's it. We've got the Knight we talked about the Knight, and we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So if the 7 of Pentacles that we had first, this idea of waiting for the fruits of your labors, the 8 is then mastering it, and the 9 is being able to enjoy the fruits. And this is blocked. But why? Because there's the 8 is missing. So what is coming to mind is this idea of there's still a need to master whatever situation is going on here, which makes sense because we had this come up as emotional pain that is yet to be fully processed, right? So this might be what is blocking it. And again, as soon as I speak on it, I lose my train of thought. It's like I lose the connection. So there's really a big block here. But we're gonna get you some guidance with this, please. Some guidance. And I need to head because the bugs have now decided that I also taste really good. I don't just smell good, and I think I'm getting bitten. Which, I don't know about you guys, but I always get bitten. I know people have different blood types and all this, but like any insect sees me and they're like, oh, delicious meal every time. Don't let pride get in your way. Pride, this idea of an overemphasis on the ego, right? There you go. Pride is here very much connected to the devil, and we have a stance of a lion that I had in my head is like the devil like standing there, we're like, no. And this is kind of the stance of a lion that I saw, ready to attack. And here he is, the lion, telling you, don't let pride get in your way. If you feel this blockage, keep going, keep doing the work, because it is going to be rewarding. You know, the 9 of Pentacles will eventually turn around. Nothing is yet set in stone, and the emotions as well coming up with the moon here and the tides. There is the mutable moon. There is so much that you can still change about the outcome of your life and how things are going. I don't know. I don't believe in time personally. I think time is something we cannot perceive in its purest form. We perceive it linearly. So we think that Bobby, sorry guys, little boy decided to now eat the dirt. What is happening? But what I was saying is, I think like with time, that there is this, it's almost like there's always the different possibilities of how things are going, and they all exist at the same time. And I don't think we can perceive that. I don't think we can really acknowledge it and understand what that means. But in that sense, it's not like your destiny is set in one trajectory which it will stay on for the rest of your life. But it's a mutable thing that's constantly changing, and it's a matter of your choices. And by your choices, you then interfere in the future, and in some way in the past. I just saw something, but I honestly didn't look into it too much. I still have to, about how there's in quantum physics, they've now some way shown that there is a correlation to what we do in the here and now can impact the past. And I wouldn't be surprised if they find out that we can impact the future as well. Because, again, I don't think time exists. But yeah, okay. That had to be said. We get one more, please, from here. I think we're going to have to head out as well. There's too many things happening. There you go. Card falls out. I'm being bitten. Mr. Chunky's trying to eat the dirt. What's happening? The energy is gaining momentum. That's what's happening. Things are being riled up. Things are coming to the surface so they can be transmuted, so they can be changed, so they can be dealt with. The choices have to be made for you to step on the path of this future that you want. And that's what's happening. This is all it's all coming to a head, so you make this, so you are confronted with the devil in yourself. Devil that you are to yourself, the devil's in your life, whatever. Alrighty, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you are interested in a personal reading and looking deeper into this, my contact is in the description. Now I hear the mosquitoes. I gotta go. Bye.